Today we are launching our Equity in Genomics Testing report, and this report sets out a roadmap to give every single person with a brain tumour access to whole genome sequencing. This has been a 2-year effort that has been the result of a consultation with 41 NHS professionals. Why is this important? Well, the NHS has commissioned whole genome sequencing for all patients with a brain tumour. And through a sequencing test, staff can learn more about the tumour and patients can be screened to potentially enter clinical trials. Interviews with staff revealed that to date, only around 5% of patients are accessing this crucial testing tool, so we need to work together to increase this. Professor Katrina Kurian is the lead author of this report, and during the Equity in Genomics project, unfortunately her husband Gerard got diagnosed with a recurrence of his brain tumour. However, he was able to access whole genome sequencing, and through this opportunity, he was able to access precision medicine within a clinical trial.
So this is Jared. My husband is 61, is an engineer, born in Edinburgh. So I first met Jared in Edinburgh when I was 25 and he was 32. And I remember our first date over pasta where he told me he'd had seizures when he was younger and a brain tumour removed when in his 20s and had surgery and radiotherapy. And I just liked Jared so much. I was very young and idealistic. I didn't think it was a good enough reason not to go out with someone. But unfortunately last year, when just before Jared was 60, he had some right leg weakness and we found out that his tumour's come back, and unfortunately this time it was most malignant brain tumour, glioblastoma. Before we had the whole genome sequencing, which is probably the most advanced molecular testing that you can get, we didn't realise that Jared also had very rare mutations in his tumour which are called mismatch repair mutations, and that meant he was eligible for an immunotherapy trial. And I have to say, for the last year, that Jared's had a really great quality of life. Unfortunately, his tumour has progressed, but we're just so happy to have taken part in the trial. The first fast turnaround time was very important because it meant that Jared could get on the clinical trial. So we know this disease progresses very quickly, it's quite aggressive. So unless you get your results back in a timely manner, you won't be able to act on them. So for me, this report contains bad news and good news. The bad news is at the moment, WGS is not available to every brain tumour patient in the UK, and we're not getting the results fast enough. But the good news is that there are very clear recommendations from the report. And I think with support from charities, funders, from the government and the whole community, that we can really do better. My hopes are that every brain tumour patient in the UK has got access to advanced molecular testing, because that's the only way we're going to better understand this disease and offer our patients more clinical trials. It's very, very important, and I'm very, very hopeful for the future.
In this report, we set out a series of consensus recommendations to improve access to whole genome sequencing throughout the UK, so that in time, more patients may benefit from access to experimental treatment. I ask you today to support the adoptions of these recommendations going forward. Thank you.